Hello everyone, this is Alejandra Gomez with creatingdaily.com, and today I'm going to show you another watercoloring piece. This time I'm going to be using the little chick out of the Welcome Easter stamp set. And I think this is great. Of course, there's the Easters, but I think you can also use it for like little babies, don't you think? Definitely all of these little critters are my favorite, and so I just want to start first one with this one, but probably I'll be doing different cards using these other images. So anyway, so let's just get it started. For this one, I already have a piece of cardstock, and I already lined up my stamp on the stamp apparatus. This is just a stamp positioning, because usually the watercolor is a little more thicker and porous, and so definitely want to make sure that you have a stamp positioning just in case your image is not as dark as you want or not complete. And so definitely you can go ahead and stamp again if needed. So like in this case, I think it looks fine, so I really don't need to do anything else. But sometimes I've noticed, especially when the stamps that you're using is not well inked, sometimes you might not have the full image. Anyway, you do have to use a Stason because we're going to be doing watercoloring. And when you do that, you definitely want to make sure you have what am I saying? The Stason, because that's an alcohol base. So that way you're not going to be pulling any of the color as you're coloring. So for this one, I'm going to be using Daffodil Light. And so this is the old type of pad, so I can pretty much squeeze it and get it. But if you cannot do it, I think I shared already that in a previous video, but you just get a block and take some ink from here. That way you don't have to be squeezing them. In this case, this one is one of those that I could, so I can pull the ink from there. Now the other thing is you need a aqua painter. This one is one of those where you put the water here and then you have your brush here. One of the things, and you can see this one is kind of old. I probably will need to be replacing this soon, just because the little edge is not as pointy, and so sometimes that gives me a lot of issues. So I have another one that I might be using if it is too problematic, especially for the little areas. But for now, let's just go ahead and start doing this one, using this one, and go from there. So we're gonna be coloring the little cheek with Daffodil Light, and the more water you put on your paper, the lighter the color will be, and the less water, then you're gonna be getting a little bit more of a darker. Now you don't want to also pull so much water, because sometimes it's gonna take a little bit longer to dry, and then as you're applying the color, you're not gonna really see that you're putting it, right? Because there's so much water, and so it gets diluted. So definitely you want to go from lighter to darker, and you can always, like, if you get a little bit more of color that you wanted, then you can squeeze and then pull some with the water. So all right. Oh. And I love coloring with watercolors, or with the watercoloring paper. I feel like it's more relaxing. It's different than with the blends, to be honest. You get a different experience. The blends are also great, and that I think is another of my favorites, to be honest. It gets more of a vibrant coloring, but with the watercoloring you get more of a I don't know, softer, I don't know, it looks more artistic. I don't know, it just looks different. You can do a lot of the shadowing, so same as with the blends, you can be doing some shadowing and get some lighter to darker color, as you can see here. Let me just show you here for a second, so you see a lighter and then darker. And so I definitely going to be doing the same here at the face, so that I can have some more contrast here. And again, the more color you apply as your paper is drier, the more you're going to be getting a darker image, right? And the more water you apply, then it's going to get lighter. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit here. And this is where I said that my brush is a little bit, it's a little bit, like the ends are already open. So I might need to be replacing it soon. But it's still doing its job, right? And you can see I'm just going back as I need color here. Okay, now I definitely am going to be using a different pen for the other one, just because like I said, the ends on my brush is not that great. So we're gonna go ahead and bring that one. Let me just make sure I don't have as much water. Yeah, I just want a little bit of that. So I'm gonna bring now. Now, if I were using the same brush, I would have cleaned it and then switch colors, right? You clean it here until you don't have any more color, and then you just pull the next one. And it's particularly more important when you go from darker to lighter. If you go, like in this case, from the yellow to the orange, and I'm using on this one pumpkin pie. But if you were using, if I were going just, like in this case, the yellow to orange, you don't really have to have a really clean pen, you know, because it's kind of like on the same family per se. So, you don't have to. But like if you were going from like a red to light blue, definitely you want to make sure you don't have any color, because you will be pulling some of that as you're coloring. So... and again, I'm just taking a little bit. And this is where having a nice point at the end of your brush makes a difference, especially for those little areas. Definitely this section makes it's easier to color if your brush has a nice pointy edge. Or end, I should say. Because then you could color better. You can even do some shadowing, right? And if your ends are kind of split, then it's a little bit harder. That's why I decided to just switch here. Let me just put some here. I need to remove some of the color, right? All right. All right. So now that I have these, like I said, you just need to make sure, and this is just a scrap of paper, regular paper. But I clean it, and then I'm gonna leave this one because I want to put let's just use Flirty Flamingo, because I love seeing the little cheeks. And on this one, I just want to make sure, yes, I get the pink. So I'm going to just put some little cheeks on this little guy. And again, this is Flirty Flamingo. Then you clean it again. And then I'm going to go with the Daffodil Light and kind of blend everything out. Right, that way it doesn't show like a... There you have it. Right, it looks a little bit nicer that way. And let's just do some more accenting here. Definitely want to have more of a darker area here, because this area that is darker. There we go. And there we go here. Alrighty. And then I clean it. And we are done here. So let me just show you real quick how it looks. Oh. And you're gonna fall in love with this little guy, don't you think? And again, those cheeks are really subtle, very like incorporated with the yellow. And as it dries, you're gonna see a little bit more of their artistic color. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.